Freedom Force Talk Squad. Thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to kick off with Great Lakes Brewery. Octopus Wants to Fight, Mighty Etopico. It's a strong presence. It's all seasons. Got a little bit of a nutty thing going on. It's full of flavor, full of country goodness. Octopus Wants to Fight because, of course, the octopus likes to fight in the forest. What am I talking about? Who cares what I'm talking about? We're moving forward here. I love this beer. We're going to talk about 5 Jewish novels now. I've read a lot of novels. I've read novels all my life. These are 5 of my favorite in no particular order. Okay, we got one here. Solomon Gursky Was Here. It's a Canadian novel by Mordecai Richter. It's from the mid-'80s. It's about someone doing the biography of an old Jewish couple family line in Montreal, and it turns out to be a big study of, like a study of Canadian history through an alternate lens. Great book, love it. Another book, Saul Bellow, The Adventures of Augie Marsh. This book was written in the 50s, American. And Saul Bellow takes us on a journey from living in a Jewish ghetto in New York through into the war and onwards into international socialist stuff and in Mexico. And The Adventures of Augie Marsh is about somebody pursuing fearlessly as an American and as a Jewish guy thrust into the limelight of the mid-20th century. Okay, another one we got here. Philip Roth. I've read almost 20 of his books. He wrote another 20 I gotta get around to. This one is called Operation Shylock. It's about him discovering he's got a near identical twin living in Israel, trying to get the European diaspora of Jewry to repatriate back to Europe. He himself is a New Yorker. It's a bizarre, fascinating postmodern book from the early 2000s. Number 2, Norman Mailer, Harlot's Ghost. He fought in World War II, made a bunch of buddies for life, and those guys went into the CIA. This famous American author kept contact with hundreds and hundreds of CIA operatives and wrote the absolute definitive book about it, Harlot's Ghost. It's an amazingly good book. By the way, all these authors rule, okay? And number 1, Franz Kafka, The Trial, 1905. This was in 1912, Czech Republic. This guy wrote about an alternative government rising up and displacing the existing government through terrorism. It is an absolute blueprint for how authoritarian revolutions happen in the creeping one step at a time mode until they have overtaken the legitimate authority. So, you know that I have absorbed through these and so many more books an appreciation for the contribution and the predicament of Jewry around the world. And in those books there's a lot of logos there, Big Bear. So just take it with that full-heartedness when I say that when people say it's weird that America fights all of Israel's wars, those people aren't crazy, hateful lunatics. It's not a weird question. And for the most part, it's not Jewish people making this a hoo-ha. It's mostly very waspy people, political hysterics. I'm saying this because there's going to be some conversations coming up, and it's going to be a lot less hostile, a lot less violent than you think. But and we have to welcome this because it's so much more fun to talk about touchy, edgy subjects. Yay to touchy, edgy subjects. And yay to subscribing to Freedom Force Talk Squad, because that's where the glory begins. The glory for you and me and everyone who doesn't watch TV. Cheers, you're freer than you think. And now the music goes da-da-da-da-da. That was the video. 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 Ba 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 ba, that was a video. Ba 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 ba, that was a video. Ba 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 ba, that was a video. Ba 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 ba, that was a video. Ba 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 ba, that was a video. Ba 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 ba, that was a video. Ba 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 ba.